Spectrum is planning to drop 22 channels, including Corncob TV. They're saying by the end of 2022, Corncob TV won't be available on your cable menus. That means you won't be able to see some of your favorite Corncob TV shows, including Coffin Flop. They're saying they want to drop Corncob TV because we showed over 400 naked dead bodies on our show Coffin Flop. If you love Corncob TV shows, it's time to tell Spectrum no. They're saying Coffin Flop's not a show. It's just hours and hours of footage of real people falling out of coffins at funerals. There's no explanation, just body after body busting out of shit wood and hitting pavement. They're saying it's impossible that many dead bodies are falling out of coffins every day. And it's impossible that 1 out of every 5 of them are nude. I don't know what to tell you, bud. We're just shooting funerals and showing the ones where the bodies fly out. They're saying, no way. You must have rigged something. I didn't do fucking shit. I didn't rig shit. I've been waiting a long time for a hit on Corncob TV. I didn't fucking do this. They're saying we don't have the permissions of the family. I said we don't need permissions of the family. We're allowed to show him nude because they ain't got no soul. The guys at Spectrum think I'm just some dumb hick. They said that to me at a dinner. Call Spectrum and say, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of this. There's worse shit on the local news. This world's fucking so fucked up. And people are mad at me because I showed a bunch of naked dead bodies with their spread blue butts flying out of boxes. Really? I'm done. Do what you want. Pull the plug. I'll kill you.
Welcome to Flyby Films, once or twice a month podcast where myself, Jamison Barsotti, and my good friend Blake Collier get together from 2 different states and talk about movies that either have been or will be forgotten. Today we're going to get pretty sad. We're going to be talking about the topic of grief. And because we're doing a topics episode, we both got to choose something. And Blake, what did you choose for this episode?
Yeah, I chose the movie because I chose the album last time. And so we're alternating back and forth on these episodes as to who's picking what. And Jamison's all-seeing AI random generator picked this sad boy topic. And so I was like, okay, what's a movie that automatically comes to mind that is just like sad? Well, Manchester by the Sea is the first one I picked. But then I was like, recency bias. Like, everyone knows that's a sad. And plus, isn't Casey Affleck canceled or some shit? I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, we've definitely canceled him, so we're not going to cover any of his movies.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me because that means I can avoid watching a ghost story again. But
you'll also have to avoid Gone Baby Gone, which is an incredible movie.
And the assassination of Jesse James.
Which is an even more incredible movie. Yeah,
it's amazing. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, what's another movie that comes to mind, like right off the bat? And there are certain movies in my life that kind of have stuck with me and have gotten me into film and what it means to like watch a movie for art and watch it for meaning and watch it for technique and things like that. And I watched this when I was, I think this was 2001, if I'm not mistaken. And so I would have been just senior in high school. So a lot of what's going on in this movie would have been pretty significantly above my lack of prefrontal cortex. And but something about it stuck with me. And it's one that I recall every so often. I am not ashamed to admit that that some of that is partially because I've had a man crush on or I guess technically a woman crush on
I think it's just called a crush.
a woman crush on Marissa Tomei
Okay.
my whole entire life. So, and she has a kind of a bit role in this. What she's in it, she's great, but she just doesn't have a lot of time in the movie. But yeah,
He plays a pivotal.
She plays
part
it, yes,
of the
very
movie.
much a pivotal part. So yeah, the movie I'm talking about is 2001's In the Bedroom, starring Tom Wilkinson and Sissy Spacek and Nick Stahl, Marissa Tomei, and William Mapother, who is Tom Cruise's cousin.
Yeah, that's what everyone is probably gonna recognize him from.
Ethan from Lost.
Yeah, Ethan from Lost, and then he was also in another movie called Another Earth.
Yep, that's the other one I remember him from. Yep, with the two Earths something.
Yeah, just two Earths show up. I like that movie, and I like he's opposite of Britt Marling in that movie.
I don't even remember who that is.
Britt Marling, she's this weird actress. Did you ever see the OA on Netflix?
No.
It's not a good show, but
I love these Jamie suggestions, these recommendations. He's like, it's not good, but I would watch the shit out of it.
What it gets is something that's very, you know how everybody's like, oh, Twin Peaks is so cool. Oh, this is a reference to Twin Peaks. This feels very Lynchian or whatnot. 98% of that stuff is just like someone fanboying over David Lynch. The OA actually gets the vibe, and I don't think she was like, you know, it's probably a inspiration, but she's not wearing it on her sleeve, and it's just so weird and uncomfortable, partly because of how they're deciding to go about telling that story. It's just not, it's like cringy in weird ways. Things since then that she's done with her co-collaborator, Zach Batman. I don't
Zach
remember
Batman?
his last name. It's
his name is Zach Batman?
No, it's like that. I can't like conjure it up, and I'm not looking things up, and I don't want to take a.
Are you saying Zach Batterman?
Yeah. Is that? Did you look it up?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm just making shit up.
It's something like that. They did something recently that wasn't very good. Not that the OA is good. It's just weird, and I think it goes all in with the weirdness, which I guess I have a soft spot for.
That's fair. Have you watched all of Twin Peaks?
Yes, I've watched all 3 seasons.
How many times?
And the movie. Have you seen the movie?
Firewalks with Me?
Yeah, Firewalk with Me. Yeah.
No. So here's the deal. I've yet to see anything but 5 episodes into the first season, and I've watched those 3 separate times. And for whatever reason, I can never get past those 5 episodes.
You know what?
Like I don't dislike what I'm seeing. I think largely it's external forces. Like I get busy, and then I lose momentum, and then like it just like it goes by the wayside. It's not because I don't like it, because I think what I've seen has been interesting enough to keep going. Because especially since I know it's Lynch and I know it's going to get even weirder. Like I'm down for it, but for some reason I just have not. Maybe one of these days I'll sit down, take a weekend, and just like plow through the whole thing.
You know what? We could have a Flyby Film spinoff where we just go through Twin Peaks. I would be down by that. down about that.
Maybe they could be mini episodes.
Yeah.
Mini-sodes.
You know what? Yeah. I'm not gonna be here to like tell you should watch all of Twin Peaks because we all have lives. There's all things to do, and it's not like Twin Peaks needs more spokesmen. I love it, but like, yeah. So
I'm pretty sure I've only seen 4 Lynch movies too.
which ones?
Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Dune.
Yes.
A Straight Story. And Mulholland Drive.
Those are all pretty good. I would add Wild at Heart and Blue Velvet to your list.
I've heard Blue Velvet's phenomenal.
Blue Velvet is good. Wild at Heart, I think you'll like Wild at Heart too. It's a weird rockabilly. Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern, and I think Willem Dafoe like blows his head off at one point. The Pink Witch from The Wizard of Oz shows up.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
Yeah, it's a really wild movie. So anyway,
speaking of Nicolas Cage and Willem Dafoe, I know you haven't seen the trailer for Nosferatu, the Robert Eggers. So I will wait with bated breath for your reaction to that. But I'm guessing you've seen all of the trailers for Longlegs.
I have not. I've been avoiding them.
They don't tell you jack shit, which is why they're so beautiful.
Good. I think I watched one, but I was like, well, and trailers, they do this bullshit thing where they're like, this is a teaser trailer because trailers need trailers for, I don't know why we need that. Why can't we just call them trailers?
But you know why it's funny is that Oz Perkins actually did that this time. He did a teaser trailer for the main trailer, but the main trailer is just the extended teaser trailer because it tells you nothing.
It's
great. It's just like discordant images all the way through.
And that's exactly what I want. I've already decided I love Micah Monroe. I love Nicolas Cage. I love Oz Perkins. Oz Perkins has done great movies that I enjoy, and this is getting hype, so I'm on the hype train. Yeah. I just want to go in fresh. Yeah. No preconceived ideas. I mean, other than the hype train, I'm sure it's forming my perspective.
You know what the 2 trailers, Nosferatu and Longlegs, have in common?
No.
The main villain you really don't see.
Oh. Okay.
Like you see them in like really brief or in nearly completely shrouded in shadow.
Yeah. I'm really excited to figure out why the movie is called Longlegs.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that it's about some guy who is kind of human centipeding a bunch of people's legs together to make them as long as possible.
Or he crawls around houses on all of his legs or on all of his limbs like a daddy longlegs.
Like a daddy. Yeah.
Yeah. And
have you seen
right before he kills people, he's like, "Who's your daddy?"
Speaking of daddy longlegs, in California, we have these spiders that we call daddy longlegs.
Mm-hmm.
And they are, but it turns out they're not actually daddy longlegs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daddy longlegs are these really creepy, I don't even think they're actually spiders, right? They're these really creepy, like ball-like things with these long legs that clump together.
Mm-hmm.
The spiders that we call daddy longlegs here are just, I think they have a name that escapes me, but they've got they're like loners. They're usually by themselves in their nest, but yeah. I was wondering if you guys had actual daddy longlegs in Oklahoma.
If we do, I haven't seen them, but
Good.
let me see. I'm looking up spiders that look like daddy longlegs. Yeah, no, none of these. Nope. These all look a little bit too much. That one looks a little closer. A harvest man cellar spider.
That's the one that we have, yeah.
There's
I
all sorts of
think.
different kinds of cellar spiders, but that looks to be the
Yeah.
one that is most like what we've got. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we have. Anyway, yeah. They're gross.
Yeah.
Are you
they are.
you big into spiders?
No. No, I don't
Yeah.
like spiders at all. Except for tarantulas. I'm
Okay.
totally down for tarantulas, but that's because they're super like chill.
Yeah, they're like stuffed animals too.
Yeah.
They look all fuzzy.
As long as you don't fuck
Yeah.
with them, I mean, they're fine.
Yeah.
They won't bite you. And even if
Sure.
they do, it'll hurt and it'll get infected, but that's about it. It's not poisonous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, we have black widows here. We don't have any.
Do you have those nasty fiddler spiders?
No, we don't. The brown
Ooh.
recluse.
Ooh.
They don't usually make it. We get like a couple, and like it'll make a news article when someone finds a brown recluse in this area, which is weird to me. I mean, I'm sure, migration patterns, someone is watching to see if they ever move up to this area. But they're mostly in like Southern California. We don't see a lot in Northern California. But yeah, do you guys have them in Oklahoma?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And in my home area. Yeah, well, I grew up with black widows and brown
recluse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rattlesnakes. And
we definitely have rattlesnakes. Yeah,
like
all
rattlesnakes.
over.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like snakes in general.
Just like your favorite guy.
Who's that?
Indiana Jones. Remember?
Oh, that guy? Fuck him.
Haven't we been over this? My mom used to call him Boring Man.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember what episode we talked about it, but yes, I do recall that.
Yeah.
Because she is correct.
He's pretty boring, but I also really like Witness.
Witness is great. And Fugitive is great.
Fugitive is good. I like Blade Runner. I like the second Blade Runner too, but I also don't think he's a great part of it.
Let's be honest. The only reason why Blade Runner is as good as it is, and I'm not a big fan of the movie, but it's Rutger Hauer. Come on now.
Yeah, that's true. I will say that Rutger Hauer is definitely a high point of that movie. I am a fan of that movie. And Vangelis. But
Vangelis.
He did the music.
Oh, gotcha.
Greek guy also did Chariots of Fire.
Oh, I didn't realize that he did the same ones.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, Chariots of Fire, that's a classic theme.
Yeah. I have never seen the movie, but I've heard that theme.
It's fine.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's fine.
Christians love it.
Isn't it about a guy who is... Yeah, he like doesn't race on Sunday.
Yeah, it's Eric Little or something like that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we also chose an album
Yeah.
to pair with the movie, and we haven't talked about that yet.
And
So
the way,
the movie,
and just real quick, the way we do this is we mainly discuss anything over Discord. And the beautiful thing about Discord is that you can spoiler alert anything you type. So they actually have to like push on the text in order to reveal what it says. And so we always do that to our choices until we're ready to reveal them. That way there's no like
there's no influence.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. You chose what?
Yeah, so I chose the album A Crow Looked at Me by Mount Eerie, aka Phil Elverum. So, which is the saddest album that I can think of, and one that is about him processing the grief of losing his wife when he has like 1.5-year-old daughter, losing her to cancer. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a pretty intense experience.
I want the jury to reflect that earlier today, Jameson still had not listened to the album all the way through for this recording because he couldn't stop crying.
Yeah, I will get into that.
He
I will
cried
tell
into
you.
it. He cried the first time he listened to it, and he never listened to it again because
I've listened to this album 2 times now. Once the day it came out on my 30th birthday, 7 years ago.
Oh God.
And Kira and I sat and listened to it without saying anything, just crying the whole time. And then when we got to the end, we turned it off and I never listened to it again. And today, we weren't supposed to get into this until we talked about the album, but today I've been avoiding it because I knew it had that power. Today I put it on, started reading the lyrics while listening to it. Less than 2 minutes in, I'm crying. It's just, yeah. So if you want the jury to reflect that, yeah.
Yeah. I was really just trying to like get the audience ready for how
Okay.
fucked this episode is gonna be.
Yeah. Get ready to cry.
Yeah.
Listening.
To us talk about crying.
Yeah, we're readying our emotions for you guys.
Or in my case, not crying, but we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
So, Jameson,
like,
what have you been doing lately?
What have I been doing?
Working? Have you been working?
I've been working.
Taking care of the kid.
I can give you a kid update. I can give you a work update. I can give you a fun update.
Fun update.
What do you want? Fun update. Okay. I've been to a couple local shows recently around town, and that's been fun. On Tuesday, which was 2 days ago, I saw the band Sumac play at a local coffee shop. And for those unaware, Sumac is an experimental metal band that it came about from the ashes. Well, so the front man is Aaron Turner, who is most famous for being the front man of the band ISIS.
Okay.
ISIS is probably my favorite metal band of all time. So,
all right.
Yeah,
well,
I love ISIS.
You mentioned them this morning, and then I made a really horrible comment, and then I heard nothing for the rest of the day.
Yeah. That was because I hated you. Yeah, that's because I hated your comment and was mad at you, and not at all because I was busy at work
No.
throughout the day. No.
I could feel the judgment
Good.
from whole
Good.
distance.
Well, yeah, I
Okay, so
love
you saw
ISIS.
Sumac and what else? Who else did you?
Um, so it was Sumac. It was a band called Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean, and it was another artist called White Boy Scream.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it was this. She's a one-man band or one-person band, and it's noise mixed in with certain samples and opera singing, and it was interesting. It was predominantly noise. It
It's
kind of had,
predominantly noise.
well, I mean that in the genre sense, like
Yeah,
noise,
yeah.
rock, noise music. So I know it sounds like I'm
It
doing
was
a dig at the band.
predominantly sound. It was just
Yeah,
audio.
there, there was some, and and then there, some of it was coming out of her mouth, and then some of it was coming out of, the table. There were things plugged in,
There were places, and there were other places it was coming out of that we just would rather not know about.
yeah, you know, that's my very uber critical review of the show.
That's fair.
No, it was interesting. It felt it felt a lot like Vox Gourmet
Oh yeah,
um
gourmet
or
flux,
Gourmet Flux. Yeah,
flux gourmet, whatever it
Flux
is.
Gourmet. I couldn't remember the name. Um, movies that either have been or will be forgotten by me. Yeah. So that it was good though. It had kind of a wild vibe to it. My friend Jared came and he liked that one especially. But Sumac was incredible. It's kind of weird when you go to local shows and you see musicians who are kind of local musicians, and maybe they're competent at what they do. It's really fun to like then see pioneers of like genres
Hmm.
who are like very professional musicians, and then just see like, oh wow, they're like making love to their instruments. Like they are melding with this thing. So it was pretty wild. Also, like the venue is really well known for having terrible, terrible sound. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. But they had really good sound. And I kept trying to figure that out. And then I realized, oh, they brought their own amps and they're
Gotcha.
professional musicians who have really good amps.
Yeah, because they
And
can
just
afford to
really good
have really
equipment.
good amps and bring it with
And
them. And
yeah, and so like even though the sound quality in this venue is terrible and it was like stacked against them, they still were able to like put on just a fantastic show. So
oh yeah,
um yeah. Sumac is a little more challenging to listen to than Isis. So I would say start with Isis, but if you like that, yeah, Sumac could be the next band that you like. So
okay.
yeah.
Do you know how many local shows I've been to?
Well, you live in a city, so I'm assuming you go to a lot.
No,
Oh.
no, I haven't been to any.
Since
Um,
when? You send me pictures of shows that you go to.
I think the last one I went to was months ago, wasn't it?
Okay. Well, that's not none. That's one in a couple months.
But you go all the time. Like you go often. I go maybe once every 4 or 5 months.
Well, it had been a while. I think I hadn't seen anyone play since the beginning of the year until like a month ago or so. So, yeah.
Now, I do have a big show coming up, which I believe I told you about.
It is in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And you are going to see Disturbed.
You know what? It's Disturbed and Stained touring together.
Okay.
No.
No,
I am
sorry.
going to see Childish Gambino. That was my Father's Day gift from my wife. So.
You know, I couldn't remember who it was that you were going to go and see, but the video for This Is America kept flashing through my head. And I remember because that was my reaction. I sent that GIF
Exactly.
when you told me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was embedded somewhere in there. Yeah.
That's a hella good video.
When is that show? Sorry.
August 11th.
Oh.
So I've still got a little bit of time. But, yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see that. And then, I went to see Mike Birbiglia back in April.
Oh.
A little bit of comedy.
Yeah, how was that nap?
Nap?
I was just trying to throw some shade.
You don't like some Birbigs? I
do. I actually find him very funny, but he's also very soothing and
soothing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like.
He was
I
great
like
live
Birbiglia.
because he was giving all the rich people up front shit, and it was hilarious.
Oh, good.
Well, all the rich people up front that were not there, and he commented on it. He was like, "These are all the expensive seats, and as you can see, no one's here."
Yeah.
So, if anyone wants to come up here to the front row, I will defend you.
Did you ever see his movie? Don't Look. Was it Don't Look Now? No.
That was a Donald.
That's a Donald Sutherland movie.
Don't think twice. Something like that.
Yeah, Don't Think Twice. About the
improv group. Yeah,
I think.
No, I never saw it.
It's good.
I didn't really know. I wasn't a fan at the time when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a long time to kind of get on the Biggs train.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the Netflix special 4, 5, 6 years ago where he talks about having a kid. That's the one that sealed the deal. But yeah, Birbiglia is great. Yeah. So Childish Gambino in a month, and that's about it. The biggest thing on my calendar is Long Legs on July 14th. So
yeah, I think that's the next time that Kira and I are gonna have a date night.
When
buddy. Long Legs comes out. So yeah. I've been disappointed by horror movies this year. Not that I've been to a lot of movies, but I did go and see. I saw the TV Glow, and as a non-transitioned straight white man, I don't think I was the target audience, but I was hoping to enjoy it. I think Jane Schoenbrunn, the director, is talented. I liked their other movie better, which we covered on the podcast. We're all going to the World's Fair. Mm-hmm. I thought that was creepier, and that justified its lack. Yeah, it's adherence to the mundane, which I really feel like both that movie and this movie hold on to a mundane explanation so tightly that that I can't quite jump onto the surreal train that they offer.
Yeah.
Because it always feels like they're winking that, oh yeah, I mean, it's really just in these people's minds, which, okay, if if you've ever felt like that, if you can identify with that, maybe it's a much more powerful experience. But as far as a movie, I wish that they would jump a little more into the surreal and the deep end and
The
stuff.
weirdness.
So the weirdness, but you know, I'll probably see the next one just in hopes that it gets better. But
Yeah.
I will say, I do think they like their characters. There's not, which to me, that's really the only thing that, like, if I feel like you're talented, but I feel like you don't like your characters, then I get turned off and I'm like, I don't really want to see what's next. So
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of horror this year either. I've been mixed on most of what I've seen so far. So, yeah, I'm ready
I
for
did
something to really knock me out of the.
I did finally catch this came out either last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. The Outwaters.
Oh yeah, you said it was 20 minutes too long, but it was pretty great and like
It
earned its keep.
Yeah, it is, again, a $10,000 movie.
Yeah,
And it's just insane and really gross, really horrific, really tough to watch because it is a found footage film and it is being recorded by someone who absolutely has no business recording
yeah.
anything, which is fine, honestly, because they're also going through a mental breakdown at the time, so you don't
Oh,
expect them to record. But it is a difficult movie to watch, and I mean that by, like, it is tough and takes a lot of energy to sustain yourself. But I think it's worth it and it's good, and there are things at the end that I haven't seen before. So
the
um,
the one movie I really really wanted to see, I have yet to see because it was only in theaters for like 2 weeks. Was In a Violent Nature.
oh yeah, yeah. I think it's on Shutter now, or
Well, I keep
coming
looking
soon.
for it. I keep looking for it. It's coming soon. It's not on there yet. I watched a Danish horror film tonight before we started recording. That had the dude from what's that damn HBO show with the dragons and shit.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah. Nicholas Waldo something Coster.
Waldo
Yeah.
Coster. Yeah.
Anyways, this was when he was like uber young, 93, and it's called Night Watch. It's a Danish film,
Oh.
and so pretty good. I mean,
Okay.
more of a thriller than anything, but there's some pretty nice little scenes in there of he's a night watchman at a morgue, and there's a psychopath on the loose, and he starts to be suspected as the one doing the killing.
Ooh.
So no, it's good. It's more. It reminds me more of a Nordic noir film, but
Does he end up being the killer?
no,
Oh,
no.
I wasn't sure if it
It's not
would.
one of those with split personalities where he's been talking to
Yeah.
himself the whole time, but you thought it was his best friend. That kind of no. That which I honestly, when I first started watching, I was like, I hope it's not that kind of movie. No, there's an
Yeah.
actual person who is killing.
Okay. 93 is a little before they started going crazy with those twists. I feel like Shyamalan was the floodgate for that. After
99.
Sixth Sense, then things were actually. We recently, my family, my wife, and then her father-in-law watched, and myself watched Frailty last night, and
buddy.
I think I told you that. So yeah. Speaking of twists and turns and stuff, so
buddy. And that is a superhero movie. I agree.
Yes, that is probably a big spoiler, but it's been 23 years, so that's on you if you haven't watched it. But yes, it is a superhero movie. So Blake, don't watch it unless you want to start the clock over again.
Well, I've already started the clock over again. I might as well just watch everything I've missed.
Yeah, well, anything you want to that you've missed.
Yeah, there you go. I still need to see the Batman. I heard it was good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, even just for Paul Dano, it's good.
And what's Jeffrey Wright?
Oh, and Colin Farrell. As the Penguin.
And the other guy.
Pattinson is good. I'll stand Pattinson only because he was in Cosmopolis, and he was in another Cronenberg movie, Maps to the Stars, which is more forgettable than Cosmopolis, but he was also in High Life, which I really love.
I fell asleep in that at the Circle Cinema because it was really late night showing. I fell asleep, and the guy running the bar came over, hit me, and he's like, "Hey, dude, show's over."
You gotta go. Yeah.
I still have not finished that movie.
It's good.
Did you know that Robert Pattinson is the worst vampire ever? It took him 14 years to turn into a bat.
Good job. Good job. Did you just make that one up, or had you heard it?
It was a meme.
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah. So, anything else exciting going on? Nothing.
No. I'll give you the kid update.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can give me your kid update because I have some fun stuff. We showed Hazel his first movie on Sunday.
What was it?
I mean, he's seen bits and pieces of things, but this one he paid attention to, and it was My Neighbor Totoro. So,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Going for the high art. I like it. Man.
I don't know. I mean, it's just Totoro.
It's Studio Ghibli, man. It's high art.
All right. Fair.
As far as animation goes, I mean, it's one of the great. My kid's first movie was WALL-E, and I was so proud of my sister-in-law for picking that because he watched it with my sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And she told us, "Oh yeah, we watched this movie WALL-E," and I was like, "That was his first movie to watch," and you picked well. Good for you.
That's good. That's better than Paw Patrol 3. Paws on the World.
He loves
Paws across the world.
Too, but
there's nothing wrong with loving Paw Patrol, but having a forgettable Paw Patrol movie as your first movie,
yeah,
you could do better. You could do better. What was
your first movie?
WALL-E. I don't remember. Hazel's not going to remember that Totoro was his first movie either, unless we tell him.
Movie. Well, I remember the first. So I can't say with 100% certainty this was my first movie, but it strikes a chord as the quote unquote first movie is Pinocchio, and it was a re-release They used to do
Okay.
that. Disney used to do that with their animated films. They would
Yeah.
release them after a few years to
In
theaters.
fact, I think they didn't even release a lot of their animated films on like VHS for a while. Like it used to be big, a big deal for you to be able to watch it outside of theaters. So
Remember when they used to put their movies in the vault? And you couldn't buy
yeah,
them for a period of time?
you couldn't see them. You had to build up excitement,
What kind of bullshit is that?
dude.
They were going to do
They'll
that with
never.
Alien after they bought Fox or whatever.
They were gonna put it in the vault.
Yeah, they were going to put Alien in the vault, and I was like, you fucking better not.
Yeah.
When I need my Alien fix, I need my damn Alien fix.
You know what? This is where I'm like, okay, media pirates are ethical sometimes.
Yes, exactly. They never did. I think the outcry was too much, but
Yeah, good. I just why? Why would you put Alien in the vault? No one puts Alien in the vault.
no,
Yeah.
not even Patrick Swayze.
Not even Patrick Swayze.
I feel like we're trying to avoid this discussion.
No. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Patrick
no,
Swayze.
and yes. Yes and no.
There's grief that comes with Swayze too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What his best role? Was it the child
Donnie
porn and
Darko.
Donnie Darko?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his best role.
Yeah, it really was. It was great.
In between his two roles of being a ghost.
Oh, what was the second one?
Well, he was in the movie Ghost,
Yeah.
and now he's dead. So,
yes.
all of you people who are crazy for Swayze, send your hate mail to my email address, blake.collier at
GoFuckYourself.com.
yeah, gofuckyourself.com. Yeah. Speaking of which, I think before we move on, do we need to make any retractions or set any records straight from the last episode?
Oh yeah, I don't have pinworms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, I don't have pinworms.
Congratulations, Blake.
I have a fungus. I have a fungus in my asshole.
This is
that I have to rub cream on.
This was
my wife just dies inside every time I come out of the bathroom and I say, "Oh, I just got done with a real good asshole diddling session."
Okay. Well, I think all the listeners just died inside too. I was not alluding to that. But thank you. I'm glad the record is straight.
Hey, I'm just making sure. I'm just keeping the air clear.
The record is maybe not so straight after that story. But no, I think we have some misinformation to address. Did we? What? I remember someone getting mad at us and throwing their phone.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't because we got anything wrong per se.
Oh, then yeah, let's not apologize.
I mean,
but we should definitely throw this person under the bus for daring to speak against us.
I think this is fair, and this is lengthy. So let's see here. Listening to the Batman on Broadway episode and just internally screaming at you guys. First off,
who is this?
This is my friend Demetrius.
Awesome.
I will not say his last name so that no one can track him down. But first off, I can't believe that Jameson doesn't think Schumacher can do horror. He did Flatliners and Lost Boys in the 80s. That doesn't really help his case.
I know.
And Blood
Okay,
Creek
Demetrius.
in the aughts, which I haven't seen, but it actually kind of looked okay. I might
It
watch
had a lot of interesting
Yeah.
talent in it, which yeah, I'm down to watch that.
Tommy Lee Jones was cast as the DA because Schumacher had previously cast him in the same role in his Grisham adaptation of The Client. Still not helping his case. I remember
Actually,
that adaptation. It was not that great.
I think that's an interesting connection, right?
Yeah, it's
But
a good connection.
it has nothing to do with us being wrong.
Yeah. No. He does say terrible Two-Face though.
Okay.
Drew Barrymore was coming out of her bad girl era. She couldn't really fail in Hollywood because she's a Barrymore. But she'd been in and out of rehab since her early teens and did some pretty racy, provocative stunts. So she would I think he's trying to say kill her child actor reputation. But most notably the film Poison Ivy, where she plays a Lolita female fatale, seducing her friend's dad, played by Tom Skerritt. Remember, she was in that group of young Hollywood right under the Brat Pack, many of which burned out pretty spectacularly. By 12, she'd already been in rehab for alcoholism, so that's why she didn't have many roles. She was in Batman Forever because of Chris O'Donnell, since they worked together with each other on Mad Love, which also starred Matthew Lillard. That led to her role in Scream because she was a name. I guess she dated David Arquette too. The Arquettes go back in Hollywood about as far as the Barrymores. And then he ends the long text message with "Good luck with the poop, y'all."
Well, I want to be the first person to say, Demetrius, I don't think you proved your case about Joel Schumacher, but you are welcome to come onto the podcast and prove your case. I'm also very impressed by his 90s movie knowledge and late 80s.
He goes deep. That cat can do a lot. He did note that if we ever do a series on samurai films, he would definitely come on. Because he's big into that. There was something else. What did he say? Oh yeah, so he said that he listens to our podcast and then often will listen to Blank Check right afterwards. Which I don't know if you know anything about Blank Check as a non-podcast listener. So one of the hosts of Blank Check is the movie reviewer for The Atlantic. And then there's I believe he's a comedian, the other guy. But I've listened to it a few times. It's pretty good, actually. It's fun. They take themselves with a nice little bit of levity. They're very not very serious about a lot of things. But he said, "I go from Blank Check to you guys, and it just makes me sad on the inside." and I told him my exact response was, "They are paid film critics. We keep it real."
Exactly. We approach these films as two bros broing it up.
Yep, just broing it up. So just shouting out to Demetrius. He's said before, he's like, "I really think that y'all's podcast is not actually about movies. It's just about y'all getting it reacquainted with each other each."
That might actually be closer to the truth than
that's why we got a field recording. It's not an actual podcast. Yeah. So anyways, yes, we got slammed by Demetrius, and while we don't agree with his Schumacher defense, we will give him some semblance of I guess agreement on Drew Barrymore.
I have to applaud his knowledge. I agree. The Barrymores are a powerful family in Hollywood. That's known.
They can do no wrong.
So, that is absolutely something that was involved in her being an it girl. But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, well, thanks for writing in, Demetrius, even though it was just to Blake and we co-opted your message into the podcast.
Without your
But,
permission. Sorry about that. That's why I
yeah.
didn't say your last name.
Shall we?
I guess. I mean,
It's that
good
time.
grief, guys.
Everybody pull out your hankies.
It's
It's
about
about
to
to get real.
sad. So, you had never heard of this film, right?
No, I had heard of it. I
You had heard of
remember
it?
when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. You just
I
had
had never
seen it.
seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen. So it's directed by Todd Field.
Mm-hmm.
Fields?
I think it's Fields, yeah.
Who is also in Twister? Was he?
Yeah, that
He's
seems right.
he's an actor
Mm-hmm.
turned director, but not really, because he only has 3 movies to his name. In the Bedroom, Little Children,
Mm-hmm.
and most recently Tar with Cate Blanchett. And honestly, all 3 are great movies. So yeah, he earns his
keep.
title.
Real quick, you mentioned Twister. The new Twister movie's coming out.
Twisters.
And do you know who directed it?
Is it no, I have no idea. Ben Stiller.
Did you ever see the movie Minari?
Minari? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's the director.
With Stephen Young? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which makes me intrigued. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
I'm intrigued, but
I was not at all intrigued until I saw his name. I was like, huh. Okay.
All right. Yeah. I'll give it a go. I think you get 2 twisters at the same time. Does that ever actually happen?
I mean, yeah, it does.
Okay.
Probably not like they showed on the movie, but I mean, there's often there are tornadoes that touch down at the same time, in the same area.
All I remember about Twister was they had these little, I don't know if they were camera balls or like something that would take samples of the Twister, but they needed to get the Twister to somehow suck it up into it. And so they had to get close to them, and that was what they were doing. So they were chasing the Twisters.
From the looks of it, it's a pretty similar conceit this time too.
Yeah.
So, but with higher. Increased technology.
Increased technology.
Yeah,
probably AI technology.
Yeah, definitely AI technology. So you hadn't seen this movie, and what was your takeaway?
What was my takeaway from watching the movie?
Yeah, not Twister.
Not Twister or Twisters or the Twisters teaser trailer or the Twisters full length trailer.
Nope.
None of
or
those.
Minari, for that matter.
In the bedroom. That's what we're talking about.
In the bedroom, yes.
It's funny to me that you wanted to choose Manchester by the Sea because it's like you're stuck in New England.
Yeah.
With In the Bedroom, it's a very like Maine film. It takes place in Maine. There's lobster fishing. And these are the things that kind of stuck out to me is, this very idyllic Maine village. My thoughts were, well, as a boy dad of one boy, it really kind of hit hard because, for those who haven't seen the movie, well, you had 23 years. So,
yeah, exactly.
here's a spoiler. It's about these three people, a mother, father, and son. The mother and father are kind of, accomplished small town people. One of them's a doctor. One of them is, I
Choir
think,
teacher.
choir director. Yeah,
Yeah, something.
but you could tell, like, it's a position of prestige, kind of. And then they have one son, and they're trying to convince him to use his, talents, go to school in the big city, and he has fallen in love with Marissa Tomei,
Who is an older
um,
woman with kids.
who is an older woman. Yeah, she is about, if we're to use Nick Stahl, who plays the boy, and her actual ages, there's like a 12-year age gap, I think, 12 or 15. She was about our age when the movie came out. So,
Oh, okay.
and she already has, kids. She's kind of had her first marriage, and that fell apart, and then she's, starting this romance with this couple's son, and therein lies the conflict, is that her ex-husband, he doesn't want to let her go.
Mm-hmm.
And about halfway through the movie, there is a domestic violence scene where he comes in and he finds them not in any compromising way,
Yeah.
just hanging out together, and it infuriates him, and he was already angry. He brought a gun and he shoots the son, and
In the eye.
in the eye. Yeah.
Which movies like this don't normally show the extent of the gore like this one does. I was actually a little thrown off by that. I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, you shoot it. Okay. These kind of
Yeah.
prestige dramas tend to you know, shy away from that kind of stuff. But they were
Yeah.
not shying away from it.
And it doesn't show it, it doesn't show it when it happens. It shows the aftermath.
Yeah.
And part of that is, it plays into the drama of it. There's actually a pivotal courtroom scene where that comes into question, like, you
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to see it, and it plays kind of an important role. But the rest of the movie is about grief. It's about this man's parents. He was their only child, and here they are, kind of at the stage of their life where they were kind of setting up to enjoy watching their son kind of grow into life and flourish and do these, and make a name for himself, and
Have
you know
grandkids and
have grandkids, see him every week on Sunday brunch or whatever, and it's all taken away.
yeah.
And and you see them process it, and they try to fill it with justice, and that doesn't turn out very well, and in
No.
fact that kind of leads to more darkness and more dark places. But yeah, I think it's at that point that the movie really starts getting interesting, and you start kind of seeing what's on the director's mind and the different things that he wants to kind of explore, and the quiet scenes that you could write papers on, and yeah, there's one scene in particular that that kind of stuck out to me, which is like they just kind of have a really bad day in court, and then they go and they see their attorney, and you see them kind of you take the dad's perspective, who's played by Tom Wilkinson, and he's kind of scanning around the room, and the attorney, their attorney, is kind of just talking at them and explaining away why, like, oh well, yeah, it was a bad day, but we can keep going, and you see that he's seeing all these pictures of him with his dogs,
Yeah.
but you don't see him with any children. And so there's there's this immediate disconnect where you see this man realize, like, oh, me and this lawyer are two very different people. He can never understand me. He can never know this grief. Yeah. And the movie is just kind of full of little moments like that, little like notices.
And I feel like that continues on, especially with the lawyer. I mean, I remember the one of the scenes that sticks out to me is when he is talking to the lawyer out on the street, and he's just trying to get an idea of what the next steps are and all this stuff. And the lawyer has his hands in his pockets and he's jingling his keys, and the sound starts going away, and you can tell from Tom Wilkinson's face that he's not actually listening anymore. He's focusing on this guy's nervous tick of wanting to leave because he wants to be anywhere but right here. And and it's just the discomfort people have around people who are grieving, and which feeds back into the fact that he doesn't know how to comprehend the loss that these two people have gone through. They can barely comprehend what the loss is. And did you notice it's really, I'm not a very good I'm not good at noting technical stuff in films unless it's like either super obvious or it feeds into the feeling of the film. But you go into the main argument between Sissy Spacek and Tom Wilkinson towards closer to the end of the movie, where they finally just go after each other. And they're just like taking out all of their like pent up grief on each other. And at that point you see that someone is holding that camera. It's no longer a steady cam. There's a slight bit of shake that's been introduced. Like this situation could really like go under like really quickly. And it was super subtle because if you're not paying attention, you're like, if you're just paying attention to the characters, you could probably miss it. But there is a slight wobble to the camera, and which is, I mean, it's beautifully done. It's subtle, but it's speaking to the fact that moment, you don't like, you go into that moment thinking, oh, this is going to end poorly. It ends up actually being a very lovely thing by the end of it.
Yeah,
and
but it's a
almost
very
kind of
unstable moment.
Very unstable, and almost kind of funny in the way it resolves because of the random kid selling chocolate.
And how how Tom Wilkinson, like, it's almost like, because he's let his grief out, and it's almost like he was caught with his pants down almost. And so there's this embarrassment, and so how he reacts is he buys all these candies. He doesn't just buy one, he buys a ton, and he's like, I have all of this chocolate now. But I think sometimes it takes those moments, like, you go into that scenario, you go into that scene, and you see these two hurting people just lashing out at each other. No one no one is right in that scene, but like you can also understand both sides, like why they would feel the need to say these things, but your heart is aching because they're just making it worse and for each other. And I think sometimes you just need these out of body experiences. Like he needed to just be kind of shocked out of that, and then he came back and he's like, wow, what I said sucked.
No one needs to hear that.
No one needs to hear that. And then she responded with, no, like there was honesty in that too, but like and they kind of make up. And it is interesting because
and then he goes and kills the motherfucker.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's interesting about it, is you have this kind of moment of forgiveness and humility, and then
followed by just brutal
vengeance. Murderous vengeance. And I think that's one of the most challenging things about this film, is
because that's where it leaves you.
And I mean, you get to this point where you feel like there's maybe, like, right before they murder, or Tom Wilkinson's character murders this guy, you feel like things are maybe trending upward. Like, okay, but then they just get dark again, and you're like, oh, okay, because it doesn't fill them with joy. It doesn't give them justice. What is it he says at the end? It's very, like, haunting.
Oh,
I guess so I think I remember. So in this scene, he plans out this thing with his best friend, and his best friend's gonna help him, and has agreed to do this because he also thinks it's unjust, and so they find this guy who's out on bail right now. He's the guy who murdered their son, and they find him, and they take him at gunpoint, and they are gonna, fly him out, and basically, like, make it seem like he fled the state, and so that they can kind of relax and not see him around. And so if he comes back, he'll be arrested again. That's the plan that they tell him. So they make him go in and pack for his flight. And while he's in there, he sees a picture of the guy and the woman, Marissa Tomei, and they're happy, and that haunts him. And I think the final line is, I can't figure out why they were happy. So brutal.
It's not a feel-good movie of the year, that's for sure.
No.
I remember being really challenged by the ending, even back when I was in high school. Something about it just didn't set right with me, which is what it was supposed to do. But I mean, I can barely put words to it now. I could definitely not do it back then. So yeah, it just this interplay, like they find forgiveness for each other, but that forgiveness is not extended outward. And so that, on one hand, like, it's good that they were able to stay married and that there was an upward trajectory there. But ultimately, I feel like the question for me is, what good is it ultimately if it doesn't get shared outward from there? I mean, that's the nature of mercy and forgiveness, and it you are forgiven, and therefore you go and you forgive others. Like that's kind of like the mandate of that version of grace that a person is given. And so the isolation of it, the kind of insulated, has always bothered me about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it goes from this really lovely, sweet moment of like these two people who have grown old together, had a son, lost a son, finally seeing each other again for the first time. And yet they cannot see the same thing in Marissa Tomei or the guy that killed her
Mm-hmm.
son. Because the last thing you see of Marissa Tomei is Sissy Spacek slapping her and telling her,
Yeah.
leave me alone, go away. And that's where you end. you don't see her again, and so like there's a lack of resolution on both of those, and you're just like, okay, so
Yeah.
what do I do
I
with
think I think there's something interesting that you said in there. You use the word isolation.
it? Mm-hmm.
And I think grief, grief kind of generates isolation.
Mm-hmm.
And we could talk about this more when we talk about the album too, because I think that's a big theme on that. But it generates kind of this force field around you and other people. And I do think, there were a lot of scenes in this movie where these two were confronted with the fact, like, oh, this was our only son, this was our only way into the next world being an older version of
Next stage
themselves,
of life, yeah.
next stage, retirement or whatever. And it was their tether into the real world, and then it was taken away from them. They go
Literally,
to their
that
like
tether was cut.
yeah, they go to their friend's house, and um, she's like talking about all of her kids that she has, and then she realizes, oh, I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
and there's platitudes shared after that, but you could tell like they're empty,
Yeah.
and but isolation is a big one. And I think what's haunting about the end is you see them, even though they've kind of created this bond together,
Mm-hmm.
you see them together embracing the isolation,
Yeah.
and it it breaks your heart, because
Mm-hmm.
you want them instead to reach out and be in their community. And they I think there's a part of it where they don't feel like they can, because their community is full of this murderer. Another piece about it is that the murderer is the son of one of
The
the
big
big
cannery in town.
cannery. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's kind of town royalty,
Mm-hmm.
and so you see him around, you see his name everywhere,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think that's hard, and so they react in kind of reinforcing that shield around them. and it's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and I don't want anyone listening to take away from this that I expect everyone to forgive the people who murdered their loved ones. Like that's not the aim here. Although if you can't,
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
yeah.
thing. Like
Not everyone is a Elizabeth Brunig.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly. But there's a big difference between not being able to forgive and actively killing a person.
yes. Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and whenever you end up taking justice into your own hands, it breeds more darkness than it does light, if there is any light at all. So yeah, it's just by the end of it, you get the sense that there's a high likelihood that they're going to jail because the plan didn't go quite as well as they were hoping. It does not seem like it's a good ending, but by the end, it's just the feeling of the movie is just very suffocating, and then it just goes to black, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. 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 It's just brutal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and yeah, now I've seen every Todd Fields movie, and
He likes the sad stories.
he likes these brutal endings. He likes these endings that do not necessarily make you feel great.
No, they don't let you off the hook either.
They don't let you off the hook. Yeah. Have you seen Tar?
I haven't yet. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Okay. Yeah. That one that's a wild end.
Okay.
I actually think you'll enjoy that movie. It's
Okay.
it's better than the hype makes it seem, which is an interesting way of putting it, because I think the praise that it earned should make you want to see it, but for me it kind of is like, oh, is this just going to be like
Oscar bait?
Yeah, Oscar bait. It's Oscar bait.
But you know what's so funny is that like 2 of his 3 films were Oscar bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little Children was randomly under the radar.
No, that got a screenplay nom. Yeah, it did.
I didn't remember it did. Jack. Like, so
no,
all 3 of his movies were Oscar bait then, because In the Bedroom was up for Best Picture.
Yeah, Little Children is good too.
Yeah, Little Children is brutal, man.
Also brutal. Little Children is probably his funniest movie.
Yes, in a weird, sad way.
Yeah. Tar is also kind of funny by the time you get to the end.
Gotcha.
Which is weird because it doesn't feel like a comedy for most of it. So I'll just say, like, Tar goes at places that I wasn't expecting. So
I love it when movies do that.
Yeah, but I have a question for you. Just pulling us back, just talking about peripheral stuff before we get into more grief. Tom Wilkinson.
Yeah.
When you see Tom Wilkinson, do you have a feeling about if he's a good guy or a bad guy? And what is that feeling?
I, generally speaking, can look at him and see a good guy.
Okay.
But I've seen him play both. So
I feel like I associate Tom Wilkinson so strongly with a bad guy.
That's funny.
Which I think is really funny. Yeah. I couldn't even I had to look at IMDb to realize why I was feeling that way.
You know, the one that stands out to me, villain-wise?
What?
He played General Cornwallis in The Patriot.
Yes. Yeah.
And
So General Cornwallis.
and then and then the first one that comes to my mind for like the good guy role is the priest in Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yes. He's also in that. He's a bad guy. He's a gangster in Batman Begins.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Um,
forgot about that.
yeah, and there's another one that I had kind of in mind where he was a bad guy. But yeah, he played both.
I like
And
his
this one, this
I
is
like his
mixed.
general Dennis the Menace look in this one.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, I think with him you don't know what you're gonna get, which he's a good actor.
Whenever I see Sissy Spacek is in something, I'm just like battening down the hatches for something sad because I assume it's going to be sad somehow. Because that woman just does not pick happy movies most of the time.
She doesn't pick happy movies, and she usually plays a pretty deranged character.
Yeah.
When she was younger, she used to pick those roles a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously Carrie.
Yeah.
But have you seen Three Women?
No.
By Robert Zemeckis? Not
Nope.
Robert Zemeckis. Robert Altman.
Nope.
That movie is weird. That movie is like a very strange dream in the desert, and Sissy Spacek is pretty gross and bratty, and then Shelley Duvall is in it, and she's pretty weird. Yeah, it's a very strange movie, but it's good. I recommend
put
it.
Shelley Duvall in something, and I'm my interest is piqued. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
give this a shot.
Yeah.
So, do we want to?
Speaking of giving things a shot,
gosh, yeah. So,
Blake,
I just want to
you
say,
gave this a shot.
I gave it a shot. So I had to listen to this before when it first came out. I also have only listened to it twice. The other time being earlier today.
Yeah. So you also didn't listen to it until today.
I also didn't, mainly because I was like, I went into this, unfortunately, thinking I was not going to like it. Because I did not like it the first time I listened to it. And I remembered when you said the name of it, I was like, oh, is this the one about the dead wife? Shit. And so I will say, I still don't like the music, but I know why he was doing it that way. I think he was getting at the sparseness and the emptiness that an event like losing your wife or your son does. Just empties everything around you to where like there's nothing existing except for like the ghosts of the past.
Yeah.
So while it reminds me like my problem with the music of it is largely the same kind of issue I have with like Sufjan Stevens. It's a little too, I don't know, like there's just not a whole lot going on, but it at least works for me here, and that like thematically I couldn't imagine another type of music for these lyrics to go to.
So I really like the music. Phil Elverum, the songwriter,
mm-hmm.
is also known as Microphones. His projects are always very kind of lo-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Eerie in particular mixes a lot of sound with field recordings and all that. and it's very, very much about place.
Yeah.
And whereas in the bedroom and Manchester by the Sea, also about the East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
Phil Elverum's music is all about the Pacific Northwest. So
Yeah.
you're on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Gotcha.
But Grief Coast
That's why I
or
fucking hated it.
Grief Ghost, coast to coast.
I will say I
Yeah.
paid attention. I paid attention to the lyrics more than I believe I did the first time I listened to this, and I was very taken by the lyricism of it. So
yeah, the sparseness fits if
Mhm.
you have kind of a view of the place that he's embedding this in, and that might take kind of getting used to some of his other music and kind of exploring this, because it's all very much, he like talks about places that he's grown up in and other places in the Pacific Northwest. It's very much like a Washington state,
Gotcha.
upper Northwest Seattle area, location based
Mhm.
music. And so that might help get into the music a little bit more, but you're right, it also kind of really props these lyrics up,
Mhm.
and these lyrics are what kind of make this record stand out.
Yeah.
And
Stand out so much that we don't ever want to listen to it again.
well, yeah, let me just I sent you the very first
Yeah.
bits.
This is
And
these are the opening lines,
yeah, I'm gonna read them.
the opening shots of the album.
This is on the very first song on the album, called "Real Death," and yeah, it gives you a complete sense of what you're about to expect.
Yeah.
So here it goes. Death is real. Someone's there, and then they're not. And it's not for singing about. It's not for making into art. When real death enters the house, all poetry is dumb. When I walk in to the room where you were and look into the emptiness instead, all fails. My knees fail, my brain fails, words fail. So that's it's very, very personal. It's very, very much about his particular wife, not about your losses or anything like that.
Right.
But it's still written in such a way that I'm sure anyone listening can kind of empathize. And
Yeah, this
then
sounds like him processing his own grief and nothing more than that.
yeah, but I guess it hits extra hard to me when, and yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but yeah, I made it less than 2 minutes in this time, and I was crying. So it was difficult. But yeah, I appreciate that right at the get go, he's like, "This is dumb. I
Mhm.
don't know why I'm doing it," and you're like, "Oh." Like, weirdly, it makes you want to kind of continue on a little bit more,
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, at least there's a reflection that this is really just for you. Like,
Yeah.
but the rest of the album, the rest of the album is also about him and his daughter, who was 1.5 at the time, which is Hazel's age. So like, I'm like
Mm.
thinking, like, what if my wife died, and there's
Yeah.
all this stuff, but like, he processes it through that too, and he talks about how his daughter will never really remember his wife.
Mhm.
There, it's interesting, and coming from someone who is still somewhat religious and spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
it is interesting because this album is written as opposed to someone like Sufjan Stevens or Nick Cave, who both of these artists, including Phil Elverum, they all kind of had these like grief albums at the same time. So you had Sufjan Stevens' Carrie and Lowell, which was about losing his mom. Nick Cave had Skeleton Key, which and Ghosteen later on, which Skeleton Key was happening while he lost his son, and then it was finished up with that in mind. Then so you have all of these albums, but this one is particularly interesting to me because Phil Elverum is very much God isn't real. You know, this life is all there is. And so it's fascinating to hear him kind of process through it. And in some ways, like the way that he grapples with it feels much more real as far as grief is concerned, because all of those feelings of I will never get to see this. Hello. My phone just died.
That's hilarious.
I had to, in order to get here, I had to process all 5 stages of my phone dying really fast.
That's
So
gonna be a great re-entry into the
yeah. Oh my god. But yeah. Anyway, I think I was just talking about how it's just very, very interesting to hear it from kind of an atheist perspective, because you have someone actually grappling with the reality, and you don't have any references to, I mean, you have references to how that stuff maybe doesn't exist, from this person's perspective, but it's all grappling with what is on the earth and how your feelings are towards that. And it hits extra hard because of that too. So
I think the closest I came to potentially feeling feelings while listening to this album was whenever I don't remember what song it's on, but the lyrics are talking about his daughter asking him if mommy knows how to swim.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, she does. And that's all she's probably doing now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it's so some inside baseball with my wife and I, and I've told Jameson this, but my wife and I often joke about my emotional repression. We use other terminology, which I'm not going to use on the podcast, but we often do half jokingly, but half like honestly wonder if I am actually on the spectrum somehow. So, because I tend to bottle or repress emotion until it just like something triggers it, and then it's just like an explosion. But like I can recall the only album that has made me bawl was Offerings by Typhoon. And I bawled numerous times on that album. But no other album has really caused, just like really there hasn't been a movie, like there's maybe been like 2 or 3 movies that have actually like brought me to tears. But it's weird because everything about this album should hit me hard, and yet I felt very little. Maybe it's numbness.
Well,
So
yeah, I mean, I think we all have our own personal triggers. I don't think I could think of very many I'm trying to think if I have any other album that has like affected me in this way. I don't, this is
Mhm.
probably my offerings.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
yeah, in
Except
that way.
I continued to listen to it, whereas you've only listened to this one twice.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Although I don't cry at it anymore, but there was a good about a year into that album existing that whenever I would put it on, certain songs would just like I had to like switch to the next one because I was gonna lose it.
yeah, yeah. No, I think there may be some songs. I don't know if there's songs that get me every time um outside of this album, but depending on where I'm at,
Yeah.
things that are happening, I might get hit by a song. Like I remember this was pretty soon after my dad died. Um I was on a run and I was listening to David Bazan,
Yeah.
and I I had just seen a dead bird, and I just started bawling, and I yeah. So
Yeah.
don't cry on runs. That's not very fun.
Yeah. I This is a little bit of a side note, but you mentioned Bazan, and
Hmm.
at our church we'll occasionally sing "Be Thou My Vision." We'll
Hmm.
occasionally do old school hymns, but to this day, his version is my absolute all time favorite version of that hymn.
Mm.
And I can't remember it. It's on one of the first albums that Pedro the Lion did, but
Yeah.
I just adore because I mean the world weariness and the way he sings that damn near brings me to tears sometimes. It's
Yeah. World weary is a good way of putting how how he approaches his music.
yeah, very much so. Has always approached his music even before he like basically gave up and was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty much done with the whole God thing for now."
Yeah. So, I guess he was in town a couple months. Actually, he came to Chico when I was away visiting you,
Yeah,
so I didn't get to see him. But
real piece of shit this guy is.
yeah, but he I guess he's been going to a church again. I don't know if it's like for, you know, any sort of like philosophically religious purposes or anything like that, or just kind of the sense of community or whatnot, whatever it is.
Well,
But yeah,
he's always been notorious for saying, from what I've heard, and I've got a lot of friends who go to his house shows and whatnot. But apparently, he's pretty notorious with. I would like to stop thinking about God, but I can't. I can't stop thinking about him. And I'm always like,
yeah,
even when he did "Curse Your Branches," like listen to that album, you're like, this is so angry, and yet I don't think God's done with you yet.
well, yeah, I think that kind of comes off, and I think he knew this, like
Hmm.
thou doth protest too much,
Yeah.
Mr. Bazan. But yeah, no, I think I've heard him say that at one of his house shows too. So, which is what I wanted to do. He came to Chico for a house show, and I finally had a house that I was like,
I could
come
do this.
do this, and then I
Come
was
hither.
away. So, yeah.
Yeah, I there's yeah, this album there's I probably need to try out some of his other stuff to get a sense of Mount Eerie's because I'm not sure I've actually listened to anything else by Mount Eerie
Hmm.
or by this project. And so maybe if I listen to some of his other stuff, get a feel for it, and then return to this one, I might get a little more out of it. Although, admittedly, like I said, if I were to actually sit with and read the lyrics, I think I would probably feel things that I don't want to feel right now.
Yeah. Well, you should definitely do that sometime. In another 7 years, like me.
Yes. 7 years from now, I'll do it. We
7
can do it
years from
together,
now.
Jameson.
Yeah, put it on the calendar
Put it on the
for
calendar.
2031. Yeah.
Hey,
Um.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to dig into more, I like Mount Eerie a lot. There's Wynn's poem is a really good one. That one came out in like 2008, and he started kind of mixing in like black metal in to like kind of noisy field recording stuff, and I think
Okay.
it's got an interesting vibe. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm always down for interesting vibes, so it's worth
Yeah.
trying out. I got two things to listen to: ISIS and the
Mount Eerie.
Mount Eerie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what do these things have in common?
Well, they're both coastal grief. I mean, what do they have in common? They're both about loss. I think both of them kind of ask interesting questions about isolation.
Mm-hmm.
I think in this album, he talks about how he kind of felt like when this happened, he was, on public display, and how he hated that,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't want to do that. And I think ultimately he comes to terms with that in that he releases this album, and
Mm-hmm.
reaches out to the world, and he also, to his benefit, he has a young daughter who has so much life in her, and hopefully.
Right.
So
As opposed to
there's that,
saying like
as
Tom
opposed
Morganson, who had
yeah,
another
as opposed to
path ahead of them.
yeah, Sissy Spacek, and who are kind of looking at death and not really, can't quite figure out the riddle of hope in their life. Yeah. There is actually a direct, I was telling you about this, there's a direct connection between this album and the movie you were gonna choose originally,
Yep.
Manchester by the Sea. And that direct connection is Michelle Williams, who was in Manchester by the Sea and was also Phil Elverum's second wife, for a year. Yeah. For a year. They got married a couple years after this album was released, and they were married for about a year, and then they got divorced. I think they're just different people. I'm pretty sure Phil Elverum will never leave the Pacific Northwest, and Michelle Williams is a movie star, so
It's fair. It's kind of a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you almost have to kind of house up in New York City or LA a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for both of these pieces of art and what they're trying to do, even if they are dealing with a very tough subject that I thankfully have not dealt with outside of, a grandmother or, I guess to some extent my dad, but he's not even dead yet. So, um, I know you have dealt with your dad, and I don't know if you've had other situations where you've had to deal with this, but I would imagine it's pretty significant to lose a spouse or a child. That's a whole nother thing. So
Yeah.
I do not want to experience that if I don't have to. So
Yeah. Well, we will either experience it many times over or inflict it on others. So,
yep, this is true.
Yeah.
So the best advice is definitely watch this movie, listen to this album, and then don't think about them ever again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nothing
Which is what
can
we're
be
going to
learned from
do.
them.
After we
forget
upload
that this
this.
happened.
Yeah. Movies and albums that will be forgotten.
Yes, exactly. So what are we gonna do next time?
I
We
think
haven't even chosen yet.
no.
Shit.
I don't even know
You'll find
who's.
out next time then.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
We don't do introsodes anymore. That shit's for the birds.
Yeah.
Jamie doth giveth and taketh away.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you miss the introsodes,
No, I don't miss them.
Blake doesn't miss them. No, I'm not talking about you, Blake. I don't care about you. I just care about our listeners. If you
How about
miss
the
them,
listeners? Call in. Tell us if you miss it.
if you miss it,
if we
then
got something
Blake
wrong.
promises to do an introsode for all of our episodes.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Fair enough.
If 3 people call in, this is like God's deal with Abraham.
3 people.
If 3 people call in, you have to do introsodes for the next 10 movies.
Oh shit, son. Okay, fine. If we get 3 calls, I'll do it.
I don't know how you call
heard
this
it here.
podcast.
You heard it here. 3 calls, and I will do the next 10 movies of introsodes.
All right.
You got it on record.
You also have to make it to the end of this episode, so I think you're actually pretty safe, Blake.
I don't know if I'm safe or not.
Yeah.
I don't know what I feel anymore.
Sadness, emptiness, numbness.
Do you think we should just go cry?
I think it's that time where we need to go cry.
Okay.
I think I'm going to cry about the 2 attempts we made at recording this podcast, because those died before they turned into actual podcasts.
I feel like we got the best of all worlds with this one. We worked out the kinks on the first 2, and we just were like super efficient. And buttholes only came into the conversation once.
Now twice. Actually, 3 times. We talked about your butthole. We updated. Then we talked about your butthole again at the end of the call-in. And then we talked about it just now. So.
Okay.
All right.
4.
Well,
this is taking a real shitty turn, guys, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
So let's just end it now.
Good luck with the rest of your week, and hold on to your buttholes, everyone. Bye.
Bye.